Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And today we'll be looking at the biggest Marvel sets of all time. And when I say biggest, I'll be looking at the sets with the most pieces. And previously I did look at the biggest LEGO sets of all time and I really enjoyed making that video. So I thought it'd be fun to look at some of the themes which didn't make that list. So let's begin by taking a look at the 12th biggest Marvel set of all time. We have the Hulkbuster Ultron Edition. This set released back in 2018 and contains 1,363 pieces. And it of course is based on the Hulkbuster from Age of Ultron. And honestly, I think it's a pretty great set. I think this is a much better Hulkbuster than the one we'll see later on in the list. It was a really good price for about £119.99 and dollars. I love the base plate where you can put like all the different mechanical arms working on it, as well as it comes with additional hands which you can swap out, which is a really nice touch because in the films Tony just actually replaced the hands when the Hulk destroys them. So overall, it's a really great build. I think for the price, it was actually a really good one. Coming in at number 11, we have the Guardian ship. This set came out in 2021 and was 1,901 pieces and retailed for £139.99 or $159.99. And this is based on the Guardian ship from Infinity War and Endgame. And it's a really great build. And this was a set that I always said to myself that I'm going to pick up eventually. And I never did, unfortunately. And I really regret not buying it because it looks amazing. And it also comes with 5 really great minifigures. We finally got Rocket in his endgame outfit as well as Groot with some accurate colouring. The Star-Lord also looked great with dual molded boots. Luckily the minifigures were re-released in an advent calendar a few years ago, so I did manage to get them, but unfortunately I missed out on this set. Coming in at number 10, we have another Guardian ship, and this time it is the new Milana. This set released this year and contains 2,090 pieces. And this is definitely one of my most wanted sets of the year. I saw this in person in one of the LEGO stores and it looks incredible. It's such an amazing display piece and the build for it looks really fun. We also get 4 really nice looking minifigures, as well as a really cute little baby Groot. Unlike the last Guardian ship, I'm definitely going to get this set before it retires. Coming in at number 9, we have the amazing SpiderMan. Now this is a art set and it contains 2,099 pieces. So it's pretty much just a buildable Lego poster, which I think is a cool concept. I just think the execution looks quite bad for this set, to be honest with you. They went with a 3D effect of Spider-Man kind of crawling out of the frame. I think I prefer the 2D ones where you use the studs to make up the picture. I just think Spider-Man looks so off and weird. The proportions are all off. And yeah, I don't think it makes for a very good looking display. So definitely a bit of a disappointing set because I do think some of the art sets look really good, like the Batman one and the Iron Man one. Coming at number 8, we have one of my favorite sets from this list, and that is the Sanctum Sanctorum. This was the second Marvel modular set, and it contains 2,708 pieces and retailed for a great price of £214.99 or $249.99. And I think it's the most underappreciated one. It was a really fantastic build and it makes for a really impressive display. As well, the inside is a really great build. There's so many fun Easter eggs and references and each floor looks amazing. As well as you get 9 pretty great minifigures, my favorites being the Spider-Man and the zombie Doctor Strange. So it's a really great looking set and it was a really good price. At number 7, we have the Black Panther bust. This set released a couple of years ago and contains 2,961 pieces. It retailed for a whopping £299.99 or $349.99. And I remember when this thing was revealed, everybody hated this set. And I kind of have to agree. I think it is way too expensive and the build itself just doesn't look that great. I like the concept behind it if it was like a smaller set similar to like the Nano Gauntlet or the helmets or masks. But I think it's too expensive, too many pieces, and just doesn't look that accurate or that cool to display it. And unfortunately, that reflects in the price because you can actually pick this up new for about £150. So even though it's retired, it's actually almost halved in price. I think it was a cool and interesting concept, just a poor execution. Coming in at number 6 is the Shield Helicarrier. The set released back in 2015 and contains 2,996 pieces and retailed for £279.99 or $349.99. And this was the first big Marvel set ever released. And back then I was just a kid, so I couldn't afford it. But I definitely regret not buying this set because it's such a great build and would make for a really cool display. So it's a micro scale helicarrier, so we get mini Quinjets, and we also get micro scale minifigures of some of the Avengers like Iron Man and Captain America. And we also get 5 normal minifigures, which was the first time I think we saw Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury in Lego form, as well as Maria Hill. This was a really great set, and I'd love to see a remake one day. Maybe if it wasn't micro scale, it was just minifigure compatible, that'd be cool as well. We are now entering the top 5, and coming at number 5, we have Captain America's Shield. This set released last year and contains 3,128 pieces and retail for £179.99 or $199.99. And the build, of course, is Captain America's Shield. And honestly, I think it makes for quite a cool display. We can see at the dimensions that it's 18.5 inches by 18.5 inches. So it's a pretty good size and it's not too bad for the price. I just think the build is a little bit too repetitive and very niche. But I think, again, I think if you're looking for like a cool Marvel display, this is much more reasonable than the Black Panther bust. I think it'd look quite cool alongside the Infinity Gauntlet or Force Hammer. So it's a decent set. I personally didn't pick it up just because I thought the build looked a little bit uninteresting and I don't really have space for it. Coming in 4th place, we have Marvel Studios Iron Man. This is another art set and it contains 3,167 pieces and it only retail for £114.99 or $119.99. So a much more reasonable price, and I do prefer art sets in this style because you can create a really cool looking picture. And one of the nice things about this set is that you can actually create different armors. So you can make his endgame armor or the Mark III as well as the Hulkbuster. So I like how you can customize it to your liking, as well as I think it's a much more reasonable price than the Spider-Man art set. I also think this looks a lot nicer and a lot cleaner and just makes for a much more cooler display. So I think this is actually a really solid set. Coming in third place, we have my favorite set on the list, and that is the Daily Bugle. This was the first Marvel modular set, and it contains 3,772 pieces and retail for £299 or $349.99. And this is by far and away, in my opinion, one of the best Marvel sets we've ever gotten. It's my personal favorite. It was a really fun build, and the set itself looks amazing and is such a cool display piece. It looks great from the exterior, as well as it also has really great interior builds with all the different offices from the Daily Bugle, and you can put all the staff there. And the set came with a crazy amount of minifigures. I think we got 25 in total. We got a bunch of Spider-Man villains as well as Spider-Man characters. And we also got our first Daredevil, who is my favorite Marvel character. So I was so happy to finally own him. We also got Punisher and Blade, who I doubt we'll ever see again because they're quite, adult rated characters. We also got our first Black Cat as well. So it was an incredible build with some incredible minifigures. Coming in second place, we have another Hulkbuster. This one released a few years ago. I'm going to hint a whopping 4,049 pieces. The set retail for a massive £474.99 or $549.99. So this was a massive set as well as being really expensive. And I personally don't like this set. It's pretty much a Hulkbuster 3 times bigger than the one we saw previously. And it's a really impressive height though of over 52 centimeters. So this thing is massive. I just think it looks pretty inaccurate to the movie it's based on. Like the torso just looks like he's kind of getting tickled. I think the proportions are off and the build itself just doesn't look that good or that accurate. I think one of the reasons why it's kind of like a gimmick set because you can place the buildable Iron Man minifigure inside, which is a cool concept. I feel like 4,000 pieces is just too big because it's pretty much just a $500 mech. And I think because they focus on that aspect of it, it kind of loses what could have been a really great build. So I personally would have preferred to try to make it as, accurate to the movie as possible. But overall, I think the original Hulkbuster we saw at number 12 is a much better build and is also just like a cooler display piece. Coming in first place, I think we can guess what it's going to be, and that is Avengers Tower. So this set released last year and contains 5,201 pieces and retail for £429.99 or $499. And of course, the build for this set is Avengers Tower, and it's kind of like a combination of the first Avengers with Stark Tower as well as Avengers Tower in Age of Ultron. And it is a really fantastic build. We get some really great side builds like the small scale Quinjet, the Leviathan build, and Loki's chariot. And it's packed full of some amazing minifigures. We get the Avengers all in their first movie costumes, as well as some new exclusives like Ultron, Wasp, and Falcon, as well as my favorite minifigure from the set, and that is Vision, who has some nice phasing legs on him. I think the exterior of the build looks amazing. It's one of the most impressive looking sets that I've seen. I think the only downside about this set is probably the interior. It's lacking quite a lot of interesting interior builds. But overall, it's just a fantastic set. I think if you're a big MCU fan, this is a must-get set. And that is it for the biggest Marvel sets of all time. The Avengers Tower is the number one. But let me know which of these sets do you own and which ones are your favorite. As always, I hope you will have an amazing day and an amazing week. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.